Hello bass family and welcome to Everything Bass. Today we're moving on, Technique Development Unit 14. I do still get questions and I anticipate I'll get a lot of questions like why do I give so many technical exercises? Well, one is variety. If you can add variety to your practicing, there's two things that are going to happen. One is you are going to be less likely to get bored because you're challenging yourself with something new every time or at least every week. Second, you're going to develop like different physical abilities instead of like one or two exercises where you might fall into a muscle memory rut, and then as you're improvising your hands always drawn to playing those patterns. If we can give you enough exercises that you do cycle through, you'll have more variety and not be so trapped into like certain muscle memory patterns that you've ingrained. At this point we have 14, so you could think of it this way. If you've actually watched all previous 13 and you're watching this one now, you download the sheets from my Patreon account, you actually can do a different exercise every single day, and that means for 2 weeks you'll have something new if you practice every day a week, or at least you'll cycle something unique to that day, and the next day you'll go to the next exercise. So with that said, let's get on to number 14. And here I'm doing a thing where I've split each measure into half. In the first half of each measure, you're playing 8th notes. The second half, you're playing 16th notes. And you're going to be really working out your accuracy as you're playing 16th notes and string skipping. So let me demonstrate. So it starts with our familiar chromatic line on the E string. We're going to play 1 and 2 and. So 8th notes. And you're going to be ascending from the 1st fret up to the 4th fret. Now, second half of the measure, we start by going back to the F, but we're playing 2 16th notes now. Go up to the A string, 4th fret, and play 4th fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret. Now we start again, 1, 2, 3, like that, up the frets. Go back to the F. Now you skip a string. Go back to the F, all the way to the G string. Now when you get here, we start, because we've gone as far as we could go on a 4 string. Then we start by playing the same kind of idea, but starting on the G string, working back down the neck. So we go back to the G sharp, skip a string now. So we just did the D string, we're going to go to the A string, back to the... So it's a very cool exercise. There's a lot of subtlety to this one because as you're doing like this, that last pattern I was playing, that's a fantastic stretch. You should try to keep your index finger where it is for the stretch. But if it's like too difficult, lift it up. But try not to, this is where after 14 of these, try not to like lift fingers really high after you've played. Like you don't want to be doing like, then go, I'm screwing up because I'm focusing on my left hand. When we first start, it's very common for us to want to lift fingers up. And I'm not sure why I did it, but I don't know why it's like an instinct. But you want to start, at this point, you want to start really trying to keep your fingers close to the fingerboard because it just makes everything easier. To do that, you have to develop your flexibility and your strength. So this is an excellent exercise to do that. As I know, it's for those of you who've been with me all this time or gone back and watched all my videos, you know what I'm about to say, but I do strongly recommend that you go to my Patreon account and become a Backstage Pass member so you have access to all the sheet music. The sheet music is, unless I'm dealing with sight reading, I do both standard notation, but more importantly on exercises like this, I do tablature. And I know that sounds strange to say, but I want you playing these exact frets. Because as you know, we have this G, we have this G, we have this G, and we have this G. All the same pitch. I want to make sure you're using the one that's going to get you the most benefit physically. So that's why I include tablature on this. Let me know if you don't understand how to read tablature and I'll do a video on it. Although there seems to be a lot of resource online, I don't care. I'll shoot a video for whatever you guys want. All right, Technique Development Unit 14. So now for the Encore item. And it's funny because in the past Encore items, I've done a lot of great bass players, but I realized I hadn't really done too much with Geddy Lee. And that is mainly because most people know about Geddy Lee and are really familiar with his playing. So I really wanted to honor, or pay some respects to Mr. Lee by including him in Encore Item. So I looked through, and I've been with Rush for almost their first couple of years. I think I might have had to gone back and get Fly By Night and Rush. But one of the albums that a lot of people skip over, don't really pay attention to, is their third album, which came out in 1975, and it's Caress of Steel. This was a excellent. This is really, I think, Rush showing their true musicality, their true way of they like to communicate stories, because it was had conceptual elements to it. And what I mean by this is it starts with Bastille Day, I Think I'm Going Bald, Lakeside Park. And Lakeside Park, I love that song. I think it's beautiful bass line. I think it's great melody. And then Necromancer is a longer song, but that was all of side one on the album because I had the vinyl. You turned it over, all of side two was Fountains of Lamneth. And I might be pronouncing that wrong, but and it's broken down into acts or movements, and featuring an amazing drum solo. So I just like this album a lot. There's a rawness to it. There's a lot of humor. I Think I'm Going Bald cracks me up still to this day, and it's on my shuffle because I love it. I just when it pops up, it just makes me happy. But as I said before, Lakeside Park is a beautiful melody. I think Geddy's really showing his melodic bass playing. I love the ferocity of Bastille Day. It's funny, as much as I love Geddy, I really like Alex's guitar part in Bastille Day, and I think it's pretty kicking. I found myself just listening to side two over and over again, and it's great. And if you guys like, if you really love like 2112, but you've never gone deeper, I would check out Caress of Steel. It's funny because when you meet casual fans, sometimes I've met them and I'll mention it and they'll go, "Oh, I checked it out online, but it's not really my thing." But if you really kind of hook up with the real diehard Rush fans, it's a pivotal album, and it's one that we all enjoy listening to. So check it out. Obviously Geddy Lee is just one of our most influential bassists, and Rush has been such an inspiring band for multitudes and multitudes and generations and generations. But if you haven't really given Caress of Steel a chance, man, pop in the headphones, sit back, and just enjoy it, because I really do love what the whole band did there. And compared to the two previous albums, I really see it as a quantum leap into them really finding their identity, and it's exciting. All right, so we have Technique Development Unit 14, Caress of Steel by Rush. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. I am enjoying the interaction. You guys have suggested some videos, but I'd love to get more. I want to make sure that what I'm focusing on is what you guys want. I have over 30 years of teaching experience. I have nearing almost 1,000 pages of curriculum on all different subjects, and I plan on getting to them all over the years and years and years. But I love to rearrange. So if you're saying, "Oh, this would be important right now," or "I really don't know this," and remember, it doesn't have to be something that I dedicate a whole video to. If you message me below in the comment section, or I should say, if you comment below, or message me at dtice@daletice.com, you can do it what's called a 60 cycle hum, and that's bass feedback. If you can actually just let me know, email me saying, "Hey, what is this?" If you don't know what adagio means, and you're like, "Hey, I heard this the other day, I don't know what it means," I'll include it at the end of one of the videos, or if there's enough of them, I'll do an entire 60 cycle hum video, and I'll just number them, 60 cycle hum 1, where I do a bunch of them. Hopefully enough to get like a 10-minute video in. So the interactivity is important to me, and I put it as a higher priority than me just churning out videos. I want to make sure I'm responding to what you need most. Also, guys, it would be so helpful if you have yet to subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to get, at the time of recording, I'm close to 700 subscribers, and I'd love to get that magic 1,000, because then a lot more opportunities happen and the channel can grow faster. Of course, it means a lot just to like the video, give it the old thumbs up, and if you do subscribe, make sure to hit the bell icon, because every weekend I upload. Very rarely do I upload during the middle of the week, but every weekend I upload, and you'll get notified. You can look through them, see if it's stuff you want to study. And that would just be great. And of course, share it with your bass brothers and sisters. I really, above all, just want to make sure that this is a big community that includes bass players from all over the world and of all styles. Love it, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you at the next video.